Hey, what's going on, Archons? Welcome to another YouTube video on the Boulevard Blake YouTube channel at BLVD Blake HFFS. Please like and subscribe if you are not already doing so. I'd love to get my subs up. I'd love to have this channel shared with others. I'm going to be doing more content. And here we are again on, we're going to call this a deck discovery day, and I know that is a slight ripoff of Call of Discovery in some form or fashion, but the truth is this is a deck discovery. For those of you who have not been following along with some of the previous videos, I have not really gotten very much exposure to Winds of Exchange. I've barely even looked at spoilers, to be honest, and I'm getting to see new things, new cards, fun new adventures, we'll call it, within the reading of things and trying to figure it out. And there's something really unique about having a new set and opening up the cards that I just love and seeing new things, is that you kind of realize that what you know from the past and your experience really lends credence to how you go about looking at a deck. And being so foreign at this point for me really creates this moment where I'm kind of lost, and it's great because I have all of you out there who are willing to chime in and let me know things about the deck and help me discover new things and get excited as I read your comments and everything. So please do comment on things that you notice, because I'm loving getting some help and feedback. So let's go into this. This is the first time I think I've done a video where I'm showing showing the deck and my face at the same time. So bear with me as I figure out the logistics of how to make this work fully. So the benefit of me doing this is you're gonna get to see my facial reaction. So yeah, let's kind of see how that plays out. Do I want a little bit brighter here? Oh, maybe a little too bright. All right, there we go. So this is a new thing. Please come on this journey with me. Let's see what we have. So here we have a Winds of Exchange deck with the most secure foil. Like, this foil is airtight. You could put your valuable possessions in here and you would not be able to get out. Oh, look how lovely. For those of you who don't know, they have a little pull tab here. Fun fact about the pull tab: it doesn't tear. It does. Oh, as I tear it for the first time. Cool. These are really secure. Wow, that was kind of awkward. So my apologies for my noobness. See, I feel like I'm playing KeyForge for the first time again with this stuff. Ooh, okay. So that's an interesting name. Here we have Patero Kidney, the Toymaker Progenitor. Progenitor. And you can see Starline's Peak in there. What else do we have? Equidon. Oh, and Brobnar with the Grumpus token. Well, that's pretty neat. There's a little bit of some Brobnar action there. I'm digging this. So let's see what this has in store. And again, for those of you who don't know, there is a nice little opening here so that when you go to open these decks, you do not have to struggle with these tabs at the top, where if you've ever watched any of my videos, you will know that I am notorious for having trouble opening these. And now look, there's a nice little spot. You just go slip. Look at this. Slip. And you know what? Here we are. Just peels off so beautifully. Life is just so much better under Ghost Galaxy now. Can you believe it? I cannot. And here we are. So we have this deck here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. First off, I'm going to tell you that I'm loving the look of the blue with the token icon there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm trying something different. We're going pod by pod. Perfect. And here we are. I'll put that off to the side. Here is the Grumpus token. And it says splash attack 1, which, I mean, with some of the tokens out there, this could clear a board. It's a 2 power, so not crazy good power. I wonder if this means that I will have something else in here. So we got our 3 houses. Let's turn it over and just see what we got in store. So house number 1, we're going to be looking at, oh, here we go. Star Alliance. So first up we have Uplink. And what does Uplink say? Well, Uplink says this creature gains, it's an upgrade with a pip. It says this creature gains action, make a token creature for each of this creature's non-Star Alliance neighbors. So that seems like a pretty good means for token generation. So I'm liking that. Oh, and there's 2 of them. Okay. Secure Droid, we know this one. 4 power upgrade. We have another one. Red Alert. All right, a little bit of board clearing action. Pyro, splash attack 3. Power when we played is upgrade. 3 power. Okay, not too shabby. Couple pyros in here. Then we have Friendly Guide. Okay, Friendly Guide is elusive. After you use one of Friendly Guide's neighbors, you may use Friendly Guide. So that's pretty cool. Definitely a turn 1, get yourself going, and then from there you can do whatever you feel is necessary. So that's kind of nice. Echo Reflector. All right. This creature gains your opponent's keys cost +3. Very nice. Then we have a Tactical Officer Moon with a draw pip. You may rearrange the creatures in a player's battle line. All right. Next we have Collector Borin. Oh, okay. Play. Put an upgrade from your discard pile into your hand. After an upgrade is attached to Collector Borin, ready Collector Borin. I have never seen this card before. That's really neat. One thing I want to point out as I'm just in this moment right here is I've noticed a shift in the artwork under Ghost Galaxy. It's been kind of interesting to see. And the fact that you have Tactical Officer Moon here is a really good demonstration of this. I don't know if you can notice the difference, but there's like a softer quality to the way things are put together for Ghost Galaxy in relation to some of the other stuff. So I find that kind of interesting. Not a negative thing, just an observation. Then lastly, we have General Order 24. You both love and hate to see it. This could be a very powerful card in this set, I think, with the amount of token generation potentially. So I'm curious how this will play out in the grand scheme of things. Next up, let's go the next house, which is, okay, Equidon, Trading Frenzy. It's an action card with a pip. It says a friendly creature and an enemy creature each capture 3 Ember from their opponent. That's interesting. I wonder, there's something with this that I'm just not grasping right now, but we'll come back to it. Then we have Old Tinker, which is it has an Ember Pip attached. Reap. After Reap, discard a card from your hand, draw a card. I like that. Stuart Su Uziani, giving enhancements for the 2 power. Oh, we got another one. So we got 2 draw pip and 4 Ember Pips. That's cool. This has a damage icon. Then we have General Za Orha. Ooh, we got the General. Watch out for the General. Skirmish. Play for each forged key your opponent has, make a token creature. Not as exciting as the name General has to offer, but it's 4 power. It's got Skirmish. That's nice. I mean, I guess when you get to key 2, that's pretty nice, but still. Oh, and there's a couple of them. Okay. Then we have Gem Coat Vendor. Action, steal 1, deal 1 damage to Gem Coat Vendor. Okay, I like that. Auction Off. purge an artifact, its controller gains 1. Yeah, that's really strong. I would gladly trade 1 Ember for a lot of artifacts that could exist. So that's really cool. Sandhopper. I like this one. Return a friendly creature to its owner's hand. If you do, you may play a non-Equidon creature from your hand. That's pretty cool. Out-negotiate. Choose a card in your opponent's discard pile. Steal 1 ember. Ember equal to the number of bonus icon on that card, and put that card on the bottom of its owner's deck. Oh, wow. This is a sick card. I'm digging this one. Such a great proposition here. I mean, you are literally giving your opponent a card back, but in the moment you're getting some Ember control. So it's pretty interesting. And not only Ember control, but you get Ember as well as your opponent loses Ember. Nifflepaw. All right. So this creature gains after Reap. Destroy this creature and attach Nifflepaw to another creature. Interesting. Interesting. That is really interesting. I mean, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this one. I love that it's a Nifflepaw. That aspect is great, but putting on your opponent's creature, it could be maybe not the greatest advantage for you. So then lastly, we have Gezrahi Blacksmith. Elusive at the start of each player's turn. That player chooses to either make a token creature or draw a card. Interesting. So it's providing stuff for both players. That's still great, but also, I mean, based on, I don't even know how to evaluate that one. We'll see. So in Brobnar, we have Stratosmack, and that's deal 3 damage to a creature. If the damage destroys that creature, make a token creature. Okay. Rowdy Scald. So there is actually 5 additional Ember pips in this, and then there's the 2 damage. Rant and Rave. If your opponent has 8 or more Ember, they lose 8 Ember or more, sorry. They lose half of their Ember, rounding down. So that's nice. Little Ember control. Press Gang. Make a token creature. If an enemy creature was destroyed this turn, archive Press Gang. Action card with a damage pip. I like that. Maybe you can, yeah, that's great. Pound with an extra damage pip. Deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 splash. Another pound with another bonus pip on it. That's pretty sweet. Deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 splash. And then we have Krog the Clumsy. Splash attack 2 with a damage pip and a draw pip. Oh, snap. We're getting nasty in this deck. All right. Yes. This, I think, is my first Brick Nasty, and it says each other friendly Brobnar creature Brobnar creature fights gain 1. So the fact that my token is Brobnar means that Brick Nasty is even more epic. Has a draw pip, has a damage pip. Then we have Vow of Blood, providing more damage pips. Deal 2 damage to each damaged enemy creature. Okay, that's pretty cool. Then we have Smith, which I'm super excited to see. Looter Goblin. They're back. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 each time an enemy creature is destroyed. Great pairing with Brick Nasty. I'm liking this Brobnar a lot right now. And Blood Money. Place 2 Ember from the common supply on an enemy creature. And you know what? That is also a good old legacy card coming in here. So that is great. I've been blessed with a lot of Mavericks and Legacies. Okay. Now looking all this, let's get some stats together. So we have Ember. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. 15, 16, 17 printed Ember. That is not too shabby. From there, I'm going to look at how many creatures does this deck have. The question I'm wondering is, do I count creatures and then add token generation cards, because those create creatures as well? That's the question, but then it could take away from your overall creature pool. So I'm not quite sure how I want to evaluate that at this point. But as far as creatures go, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in here. So that's 11. And we got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So another 7 here. Sorry, 6 here. No, 7. Yeah, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Which is a good creature count. That's not a half bad creature count. It's in the right sweet spot. There are creatures that are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. Hold on a second. So, I mean, I guess there's some interesting things can be done with Collector Boron here with the upgrade situations. I mean, uplink is a pretty good reason here to pull back. And then there's also, of course, even just getting back the good old Echo Reflector so you can make your opponent's keys cost more. There's a lot of good targets for that. I think this is actually a solid deck the more I'm looking at it. So those are all the stats. Ember Control, that's one thing I've noticed. Actually, let's go token creation here. So we got 1, 2, two in that one. 1, 2. So we're at 4. So we're at 4. 5, 6, 7, and this one's repetitive, so that would be good. So 7 token generations, not the greatest, but not terrible at the same time. So with that being said, now let's look at the other stats that go along with the deck, which is Ember Control. That's one thing I've noticed is not been the greatest in the other 2 decks I've opened. So I'm wondering if that's a little bit better in this one here. So Ember Control, we got 1, pretty decent one though. 1, 2. Oh, I get it. So this is a friendly creature and an enemy creature each captures 3. So the momentum of when you do this means your opponent at minimum is capturing 1. Interesting. So we got 1 in here, 2, 3, 4. So we're at 4, 5. Only 5 cards that capture Ember. Interesting fact that there's not a lot of Ember Control so far in the 3 decks I've opened. It makes me wonder if that's not something the direction the game wants to go in, or it just happens to be the decks I currently have are facing that fact. But I do like all this. This deck I can already tell has a ton of board control though, just a ton. So we have, for example, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 technically. 7. I mean this too. 8, 9, 10. So there is 10 for that one. So that's pretty good. What am I liking within the things here? Well, what we got in this is I'm really liking the potential to get a strong Brobnar board so that I can utilize Brick Nasty and Looter Goblin, period. That's where this deck wants to go. I want to be calling Brobnar when I get lots of tokens. The cool thing would be is if I can set up to create tokens, so when I call Brobnar, they're ready and can be utilized at my disposal. And I think I'm going to want to use the Equidons to set up and maybe get other boards. So I can call Equidon, set up Brobnar turns. There are really a lot of really neat cards in here. So far, I don't think I've identified too many amazing combos. The one fun thing about Star Alliance is how like some of these cards can repetitively make tokens, so I can potentially go like this onto Equidon and then Equidon to create Brobnar to then go into Brobnar. I can protect things with Taunt here. I mean, I can also utilize these as upgrades for a red alert. Got the Pyros here. I really like Friendly Guide. After you use one of Friendly Guide's neighbors, you may use Friendly Guide. Yeah, I really like this card and potential it could bring. Moon's great. This is a cool. After you attach, yeah, ready it. So I think you could really actually have a fun burst turn. This is almost like this reminds me actually of, why can't I think right now? Oh my goodness, the witch in Untamed from Mass Mutation. Actually one of my favorite cards in the game. How can I remember this? Witch of, oh my goodness. Mutation of Cunning, all those things. Wow, I actually can't believe. Dark Harbinger. There we go. Got there. Whew. Breathe easy, everyone. Everything is fine now. With all these cool upgrades in here in this regard, like potentially you could have a burst turn where you have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards that work to ready and use this. So that's really fun. So what does this say again? This creature gains action. Make a token creature for each of this creature's non-Star Alliance neighbors. So you could almost each of its neighbors. So if you have one next to him, you could basically then go uplink and you could reap. You could just make a ton of tokens. If it has one neighbor that isn't Star Alliance, if you go Equidon, play this, use this the first time you attach, then you're putting the Grumpus next to it. So now you have 2. Then you can make 2 more Grumpuses next turn with the next one you put on. If you double uplink it, then you could potentially be making 4 Grumpuses an action and go with just board presence for days. Really, really interesting potential with that. So I'm liking actually the Star Alliance for what it could do to help generate some things for me. Now, the Brobnar, unfortunately, has less creatures, but it's kind of interesting because you're going to have a board that you want to use, and then you can just play cards and generate Ember. Like, there is so much printed Ember in this. I would almost consider using this as a pod, potentially. But I love that Brick Nasty is in here with Looter Goblin. Like, that is one of my favorite things. After another Brobnar creature fights, gain 1. They don't even have to survive. And with all those War Grumpuses, there can be some serious work done there. And then what is this after the end? For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 after enemy creature is destroyed. So yeah, you can just stack some things there. Yeah, I see some really great Brobnar Burst. I'm super excited for that. What are we looking at in here now? Okay, so there's this. This is going to do cycling, it looks like. I feel like this house is cycling, create some tokens potentially, a little bit of Ember control. Yeah, some control. This is nice. Okay, I understand now what to do now. Sandhopper is basically just the most fantastic way to get those Grumpuses potentially. If there's a high value card underneath that you want, throw that out, do that little swap there. I like that. Out negotiate. This one I feel this is going to put in work. Yeah. Nifflepaw. Here is the one card that I'm not quite sure what I want to do. This creature gains after reap, destroy this creature, and attach Nifflepaw to another creature. So I'm assuming that this is decided by the person who owns the creature, which means you're putting yourself in a position to get hosed. So I like it, and obviously for a target that possesses a problem and has a great reap ability, you are providing that of not existing. If you can put on something that doesn't need to reap or things like that, you can utilize other things. This could be good, and I guess you could do it by throwing this into something so it doesn't go back to your opponent, be used against you. There's, yeah, I guess you could throw the Nifflepaw, but why would you want to do that? So yeah, interesting, very interesting. I think this is going to be a fun skill testing card, so I'm excited to play that out. And then we got the Blacksmith, which is just creating fun for the whole family here. So I'm pretty excited to see how this one plays. Yeah, I like this deck. I really do. I think this is going to be quite a fun deck, and it's going to provide a lot of opportunity. I'm excited to explore the Star Alliance side of things and then see if I can really pull off the Brobnar burst turns. But I'm liking the way this deck is. Lots of pips, lots of way to just get Ember by playing cards, and yeah, hopefully getting those badass Brobnar turns. So let me know what you think of this and your thoughts of what I've seen here. I'm starting to get the hang of things a little bit better, but as always, folks, may your Ember never be stolen. Like, comment, subscribe, definitely comment, and may your keys be forged promptly. Have a good one.